Hi and welcome to Electrical Engineering Planet. Today we will speak about very important topic which is overhead cranes or electrical overhead cranes. This is inside our course Classic Control Circuits. Today we will learn how to read the power circuit for this crane. So today we will start working and know exactly how to read the power circuit of our crane, and also we will learn how to control it to make this crane work. Actually, this crane is working with a hand controller to make this crane move in X direction, Y direction and Z direction. Here, as you can see, we have our hook. So this hook is responsible for holding the loads, the mechanical loads, in tons actually. Here, as you can see, this is our crane. Here we can move in X direction, and this is Y direction, and this hoisting and lowering is the Z direction. We call the X direction as the traveling movement, and the Y direction movement is called the cross traveling movement, and the hoisting lowering for the hook is called hoisting lowering movement or Z movement. Now for the traveling movement we have two different motors, motor number 1 and motor number 2. They are identical and working with the same manner. They are helping each other to make this crane to move forward and backward. Here in the cross traveling movement we have only one small motor. This motor is responsible for the forward and reverse movement, also for high speed and low speed. So every motor of those have two different speeds, high speed and low speed. The last motor we have here is the biggest motor actually, which is responsible for hoisting and lowering the crane or the hook. Because it's holding high weights, we have here a bigger motor actually. So this motor have also two speeds and is responsible for the lowering and hoisting speeds. Very good. Now let's see it inside the drawing. Let's see the wiring diagram for this crane, overhead crane. This is our wiring diagram. This is page number 1 out of 10. And today we will learn how to read the power circuit, not the control circuit. And in the next video we will learn how to read the control circuit. Here, as you can see, we have L1, L2, L3, which is the three-phase power source that is coming from the electrical substation. It has a 400 volt, three-phase, 50 hertz, and this power supply will go to three fuses. F1, F2, F3, which is responsible for protecting the circuit from overloading and short circuit. It's a 63 ampere. After that we will go to an electrical circuit breaker Q1, which is responsible for isolating and de-isolating the circuit. The power will move now, and here we have the main contactor K10. This K10, when it's working, the power will start moving to the different motors. Here we have a splitting of the power to two different pages. This is 3.1 and this is 5.1. 3.1 means page number 3.1. This is page number 5.1. So here, page number 3, 1.1, and this is our power supply. This power supply now will go to two different motors. This motor is called M61 and this called M62, which is responsible for the crane traveling gear or crane traveling movement. So those two different motors are M61 and M62. Very good. So here we have the crane traveling movement. Here we have four different contactors, K61, K62, K63 and K64. And this is our motor, which have 6 terminals. 2W, 2V, 2U, which is the high speed. 1U, 1V, 1W, which is the low speed. And as you can see here inside the junction box of the motor, we have 2U, 2V, 2W, which is the high speed, 1W, 1V, 1U, which is the low speed. And here 1W and 2W are common. We have only one wire here because we are connecting them here 1W to 2W. They are one wire actually. Now, if K61 will work, this will make the power to be forward. But if 62 will work, we have here, as you can see, an interchanging between R and S. So the power here will be reverse. So here, if K61 is working, the power will be RST. But if K62 is working, it will make the power SRT, reverse. So those two contactors are responsible for the forward direction and reverse direction for those two motors. Here K63 and K64 is responsible for the speed. K63, the first option, which will make the motor move in the high speed to make in 2W, 2V, 2U. But if K64 is working, this will make the motor to work on the low speed, 1U, 1V, 1W, 1U, 1V, 1W. So here we have four different options. K61 and K62, those two options, we only have one option from them, forward or reverse. And those two options, we have only one option from them. We can make the motor move in high speed or low speed. So this is our crane traveling gear. Let's move backward to page number 1. Here we saw what is on page 3.1. Let's see what is on page 5.1. So this is page 5 and this is 1. Here, as you can see, the power supply will start moving with cables and it has split it into two different passes. Here page 6 and here page 9. And here this is a contactor to supply the power to page number 6. Page number 6 actually is the motor which is responsible for hoisting and lowering. Page number 9 actually here is responsible for the motor which is responsible for the cross traveling or the y-axis. So here, as you can see, this is the cross traveling motor which is responsible for moving the crane in this direction. So let's see it. First, here we have four different contactors, K41, K42, K44 and K45. This is a mistake actually, it's called K44. And as you can see here, also we have a motor with two different speeds, high speed and low speed. And the first two contactors, one is responsible for the forward direction and this is responsible for the backward direction, because we have made an interchanging here in the R and S, or L1 and L2. Here K44 and K45 responsible for the high speed and low speed, and this is the same working principle of the traveling movement. So here the cross traveling motor have four different contactors with the same idea of the first or traveling movement. Here, as you can see, inside the junction box, here this junction box is responsible for the traveling movement. Let's go to page number 3. This is our traveling movement. We have here, as we said before, K61, K62, K63, K64, and those are our K61, K62, K63, and K64. Here also we have our main contactor K10, and here we have fuses F61, F62, F63, and those we have two different fuses for the control circuit, and we will not speak about it in this video. Also we have another things that we will see after 5 minutes from now. Also here inside another junction box we have the contactors K41, K42, K45, K29, which is responsible for the cross traveling motor. Very good. Return back now to this splitting power. The power went here to 6.1. So 6.1 actually is the page which is responsible for the hoisting motor. So here the power will go to supply this hoisting motor, which is this motor. This motor, which is the large motor here, is responsible for hoisting and lowering the crane. So it's much bigger because it lifts a high weights. So now, as you can see, we have another idea here, or working principle. It's not working as the traveling and the cross-traveling movements. We have here 4 also contactors, but those 4 contactors, only one contactor will work at one time. The first 2 contactors here is forward and reverse, but only for the high-speed motor. And this K23 is the forward and K24 is the reverse for the low-speed movement. So if K21 is working, it will make the motor work in the forward high-speed movement. This contactor will make the motor in the backward high-speed movement. This one is the forward low-speed movement, and this is the backward low-speed movement. So here, this is a different working principle than the traveling and cross-traveling movement. Here, only one contactor will work at the same time. But here, as you can see, K61 and K62, one of them will work. And also K63 and K64, one of them will work. So here we must have 2 different contactors work at the same time to make the motor work. So those are responsible for the forward reverse, and this is high speed and low speed. But here every single contactor will be responsible for the forward reverse and high speed or low speed. Very good. Now we need to know what is Y61, what is G61, what is B691 for this motor, and for the second motor, what is Y62, what is G62. Actually, Y61 is an internal braking inside the motor. This braking will make the motor to stop instantaneously by making a clutch, a mechanical clutch on the rotor. So when I move the motor, this braking will be released, will not be working. But when I release my hand from the push button of the controller, I want this motor to stop instantaneously. So this Y61 will have a signal which will make it to make a mechanical clutch on the rotor to make this motor stop instantaneously and not move with the inertia, because the inertia here is forbidden inside overhead cranes. We can't move by inertia, because if I want to stop this motor, I want it to stop it instantaneously. If it's moving, it will not be safe. So for safety, we must to make the motors stop instantaneously. So each motor of those and the motor of the lowering also have a mechanical clutch or braking inside the motor. And also here we have an mechanical braking inside or internal for the motor. Now what is, for example, G61? This G61 is a rectifier that is responsible for make this brake to be open or released or to be closed. Here inside this junction box, we will see that we have a rectifier here. Have 2 wires and will give 2 another wires. Inside the motor we have 2 wires that will supply power to this rectifier to make it work or to be open. If it's working, it will give a power here to this brake to be released, to not be working. So the motor will move freely. But if I release my hand from the motor, the contactors will stop, so the power here inside the motor will not be any power, so those 2 wires will not have power actually. So this rectifier will stop supporting power to this braking. So this braking will make a clutch. It will close and will make this rotor to stop instantaneously. So if this rectifier have power from inside the motor, it will make this brake to be released. If the power will stop, it will make this brake to stop and close and make this motor to stop instantaneously. Here also we have B691, B692, and in the other motors also we have this internal temperature sensor. This temperature sensor is responsible for measuring the temperature inside the winding of the motor, and if it has a higher temperature, it will make this crane to stop. So here, as you can see, this is our temperature sensor, which is giving a signal to this relay F691, F692, for example. As you can see here, this is our relay F691, F692. Here, if the temperature is in a good condition, this resistance will be low, so this relay will be working. But if the temperature has a higher value, so the resistance will be very high, which will make this relay not to be work. So when this relay will not be working, it will open the circuit of those contactors. In the next video, we will learn how to read the control circuit behind our overhead cranes and how the push button of the hand controller is working here. So stay tuned and consider subscribing in Electrical Engineering Planet channel to support our community. Also, don't forget to share, like, and let knowledge enlighten your world. Thanks for watching.